The 2026 Forester and the 2026 CR-V are two SUVs people keep cross-shopping, and for good reason. Both are trusted, both are popular, but only one really gives you the better deal once you dig in. Hello everyone, this is Scott from CarlandTV. It's time to hop in the front seat, because today, we're putting the 2026 Subaru Forester up against the 2026 Honda CR-V to see which one actually deserves your money. But first, do me a quick favor. Tap that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. It ain't required, but those clicks keep this thing rolling and make it easier for me to keep dropping solid car content straight to your screen. Now, let's get back into it. Pricing and trims. Here's where the wallets come out. The 2026 Subaru Forester is sitting in that $33,000 to $43,000 window, depending on trim. Subaru's lineup runs base, premium, sport, wilderness, limited, and touring. And here's the kicker. All-wheel drive is standard on every single one. Even the base Forester isn't stripped. You're getting LED headlights, remote keyless entry, and that Subaru welcome lighting that shines on the handles at night. Now, if you want the sweet spot, it's the sport trim. Bronze accents, heated seats, the big 11.6-inch infotainment screen. It's got just enough extra without climbing into the high 42nd. And if you're the type that's dragging this thing into mud or snow, Subaru finally brought the wilderness back for 2026. That one gets 9.3 inches of ground clearance, revised suspension tuning, beefier Yokohama Geolandar tires, a shorter final drive for better grunt at low speeds, and terrain modes like snow, dirt, and deep snow, mud. That's Subaru leaning into its roots. On the other side, the 2026 Honda CR-V starts a little lower, negative $32,300 to $36,800 for the gas models. You've got three trims: LX, EX, and EX. L. Front-wheel drive is standard, and all-wheel drive is optional, so you choose what you need. For 2026, Honda stepped up the tech game. Every trim gets a 9-inch touchscreen, wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, and a wireless charging pad. The EXL even throws in a 10.2-inch digital cluster and leather. So here's the split. Subaru charges a bit more up front, but you're getting AWD across the board. Honda's cheaper to start, and it piles on tech value, but AWD costs extra. Next, let's see how that plays out once you drop the hammer. Powertrain and performance. Alright, let's get into the guts. The 2026 Subaru Forester keeps things old school with that 2.5-liter flat 4, making 180 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. It's tied to a CVT, and as always, all-wheel drive is standard. Is it quick? Not really. You're looking at about 8.3 seconds to 60, and you'll hear that boxer moan when you put your foot down. But here's the thing. The Forester's not trying to win drag races. What it does is hook up. Rain, snow, dirt roads. The grip is always there. And if you spring for the wilderness trim, you're getting 3 inches of ground clearance, beefier tires, a shorter final drive for low-speed grunt, and off-road drive modes that make it way more confident when the pavement runs out. Now, the 2026 Honda CR-V takes a different swing. It's running a 1.5-liter Turbo 4, good for 190 horsepower and 179 pound-feet of torque. Same deal with a CVT, but here you can pick front-wheel drive or AWD. That turbo gives it a little more pep when you're merging or passing, and it actually edges the Forester in testing, 8.1 seconds for its 0 to 60. Not a rocket ship either, but smoother and less noisy when you're on it. For 2026, Honda also tweaked the all-wheel drive models with better traction management, so they feel steadier in slick spots, though don't expect it to crawl through the same ruts the wilderness can handle. It's easy to see that the Forester is the steady workhorse built for traction. The CR-V's the smoother everyday commuter with just a touch more zip. Next, let's see how both of them treat your wallet at the pump. Fuel economy. Now, let's talk gas money, because that's where a lot of folks make their decision. The 2026 Subaru Forester hasn't been fully rated yet, but Subaru's numbers don't change much year to year. Expect it to land right where the 2025 model sat, 28 miles per gallon combined, 26-inch the city, and 33 on the highway. In our testing, the sport trim hit about 31 miles per gallon on the highway, which is solid for an all-wheel drive SUV. But here's the trade-off. The wilderness trim with the taller stance and knobby tires will sip a little heavier, so don't expect those same highway numbers if you're rolling around on all terrains. Still, for standard AWD, across the board, those MPG numbers aren't bad at all. The 2026 Honda CR-V fights back with a slight edge. The front-wheel drive version posted 28 miles per gallon in the city and 34 miles per gallon on the highway, which shakes out to about 29 miles per gallon combined. Add all-wheel drive, and it's still in line with the Forester. We tested a CR-V EXL all-wheel drive and pulled 31 miles per gallon at highway speeds, almost identical to the Forester Sport. Where the Honda wins is efficiency when you don't need AWD, something Subaru doesn't even give you the option to skip. So here's how it plays. If you want standard AWD with respectable MPG, Subaru's got you. If you'd rather stretch your mileage with a cheaper FWD setup, Honda's the play. Up next, let's jump inside and see how these cabins stack up. Interior and cargo. Here's where most buyers really feel the difference. How these things treat you and your stuff on the inside. The 2026 Subaru Forester has always leaned on that upright, boxy shape, and that pays off big in space. Step inside and it feels airy, tall windows, wide sightlines, and a cabin that just feels bigger than the numbers suggest. The back seats are no joke either, with plenty of head and legroom for grown adults. Behind the rear seats, you're working with about 30 cubic feet of cargo space, and if you fold those seats flat, that number jumps to around 75 cubic feet. That's more than a lot of its rivals. And in our suitcase test, the Forester swallowed 12 carry-ons with the seats up, 28 with them down. Subaru also gives you water-repellent leatherette on sport and wilderness trims, which makes cleaning up after dogs or muddy boots way less of a hassle. The 2026 Honda CR-V plays it a little differently. The cabin has that Honda clean look, with the honeycomb dash trim hiding the vents, and a design that feels a little more upscale. Front seats are shaped to cut fatigue on long drives, and in the back, you've got great legroom, among the best in class. Cargo is impressive too. 39 cubic feet with the rear seats up, and 77 cubic feet max with them folded. That edges the Forester just slightly, giving the Honda the numbers win if hauling capacity is your main concern. So, Subaru's got the tall, airy vibe, Honda's got the sleek design and a bit more cargo volume. This time, let us see what their respective tech has to offer. Tech and infotainment. Alright, let's fire up the screens. The 2026 Subaru Forester finally ditched that old split-screen setup and now runs most trims with a big 11.6-inch vertical touchscreen. It's clean, simple, and every bit as modern as you'd expect. You're getting wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a wireless charging pad, and Subaru's menus are straightforward. No digging through layers just to change the radio. Base models get a smaller dual-screen setup, but honestly, most buyers are going to be shopping the premium end up anyway. Subaru's also good about physical buttons for climate and volume, so you're not jabbing at a screen while bouncing down a dirt road. That's the kind of small thing you notice after living with it. Now slide into the 2026 Honda CR-V, and it's got its own approach. For 2026, every CR-V gas model now comes with a 9-inch touchscreen, bigger than last year's, and it pairs with wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, just like the Subaru. Honda throws in a wireless charging pad too, plus extra USB-C ports in the back so your passengers aren't fighting over juice. Step up to the EXL, and you also get a 10.2-inch digital gauge cluster that makes the cockpit feel more premium without overcomplicating things. The whole layout feels Honda clean, minimal buttons, quick response screens, and easy menus. So which is better? Subaru nails usability with those physical controls. Honda leans slick with its upgraded cluster and tech polish. Either way, you're not getting shortchanged. Safety and driver's assistance. Let's talk about the stuff that keeps you out of trouble when things go sideways. Subaru's been hammering safety for years, and the 2026 Forester comes with the brand's EyeSight Driver Assist Suite standard across the board. That means automatic emergency braking, lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, and lane departure warning, all baked in. No extra packages needed. Subaru also has the rep for building strong, crash-worthy frames, and the Forester's tall glasshouse gives you killer visibility compared to a lot of the slit-window crossovers on the market. Mechanics and owners alike will tell you, being able to actually see what's around you is half the battle in daily driving. The 2026 Honda CR-V fires right back with its Honda sensing system, also standard on every trim. You're getting forward collision warning with auto braking, lane keep assist, adaptive cruise, and a driver attention monitor that'll nudge you if it thinks you're nodding off. Honda even added improved traction management to all-wheel drive models this year, so it feels steadier at low speeds on slick surfaces. The CR-V has also been racking up strong crash scores for years, with the IIHS regularly giving it high marks. So here's the deal. Subaru leans on visibility and standard AWD confidence, while Honda packs in a little more tech polish with its driver monitoring system and new traction tweaks. Both are safe bets, literally. But when you line everything up, which one actually wins the head-to-head? That's where I wrap this up. So who won? Here's the straight shot. Both of these rigs are winners in their own lanes, but when you stack them side by side, one edges it out. The 2026 Subaru Forester is the SUV you buy if your life involves dirt roads, snowbanks, or trailheads. Standard all-wheel drive, huge visibility, and that new wilderness trim with 9.3 inches of clearance. It's a tool built for folks who don't want to think twice when the pavement ends. The downside? That 2.5-liter flat 4 just doesn't bring the hustle. It's reliable, sure, but adequate is about the nicest word you can throw at its performance. Now, the 2026 Honda CR-V is the more rounded package. Slightly quicker, smoother on the road, and a touch more refined inside. Cargo space beats the Forester. Rear seat room is excellent. And for 2026, Honda sweetened the deal with upgraded tech across the board. Fuel economy tilts in the CR-V's favor too, especially if you don't need AWD every day. Add in Honda's solid safety scores and the 1 year of complimentary maintenance, and you've got an SUV that not only feels good to own but stays easier on the wallet long term. So if I'm handing out the win, it goes to the 2026 Honda CR-V. Subaru's Forester is still the choice if you're living that outdoorsy lifestyle or need AWD without paying extra. But for most buyers, the everyday commuters, the families juggling Costco runs and road trips, the CR-V is simply the more complete, better balanced SUV in 2026.